That was weird. It wasn't Noemi's fault. Just out of nowhere, I started getting the circles here. Then it went black screen. But I think we're live. Of course, nobody's here yet. So hopefully everybody comes back. We'll stay on for another hour. We didn't talk about, we're not done talking. Got some good scoops to pass. So hopefully we can get back on. People will start joining. It's late. It's Sunday night. I hope everybody comes back. Are you with the production team over there? It says we're live. Welcome to live chat. It is dark out there. Noemi's killing it on that thing. All right, we're back up. Connecting to live. It's new. This is a new one. Brand new one. All right. It says two of you are on. Who is OG? All right. OG, man, Gary's still here. All right. Man. Bruce is in. Annie Benani era. I'm telling you, that was okay. Wow. Right? That's what the producer says. That's how I'm feeling. Man, I was killing it. Everything was going well. We had all my notifications off, everything. And then it just said, you have no connection. Man, don't ever do that again. Got it. Jared, I'm trying, brother. We have 1 hour remaining. Whew, maybe that was the intermission. Man, I think, who said it? I think that was a Democratic plug. Somehow, some way they got into my phone. Oh, man. Mother is here. What does the big UM mean? The big capital UM. Who knows what that means? Because we mentioned voter registration. I'm telling you, right? That's straight from the producer, and she knows some stuff. Start talking about voter registration, and it went haywire. Get out and vote. Register to vote and vote so we can fix this place. Someone needs some remedial. I need some remedial training. Come on, it's been a while since I had a glitch like that. Normally, it's my fault. That was from somewhere. I don't know how that happened. Man. All right. And here's one from my mother. We may not have it all together, but together we have it all. So a team effort here. Man. All right. My mic is off. Is that true? Motor Oil says, hey, did you hear lots of National Guard are being deployed in the past week? Where are they being deployed to? Can't hear? Can't hear anything? Troll? Is that a troll? Gary, you can hear me? All right. So, man, we're back on. All good. Here's the other topic that I want to talk about, and it's pretty hot, and I'm sure it's going to get some controversy, and I haven't followed up. It was from a couple days ago. The Army Sergeant Major said he took out diversity consideration when selecting senior enlisted positions. Again, like I talked about in the beginning, when I received that notification, that data about how many of each race and each color and each gender are in these top officer and enlisted positions, I thought, oh, that's kind of cool, but why is that important to me or to anybody? We want the best enlisted soldier in the top enlisted spots. Gender doesn't matter, race doesn't matter, background doesn't matter, the best soldier for the job, the best Marine for the job, the civilian community, the best person for that job, whatever it is, doesn't matter. So I'm wondering how that goes. If anyone has any information on that. He removed diversity consideration when selecting top enlisted positions. Amen. Should have never been in there. All right. Whew. Menachem. Good to see you, brother. What time did we start? An hour ago. Remember, Sundays are an hour early. Whatever time it is in your time zone, an hour early. Cave Diver, he's back. Kill. Like even Annie Benani recognized Menachem. Where you been, brother? You're an hour behind. That's burpees. You know that, right? Sergeant Stacking agrees. But I thought we were all shades of green. All one color. We all bleed green in the Marine Corps anyway. I'm with you, Jared. Again, what does it matter? What do all those things matter? And I'm wondering what kind of backlash he's getting, this Army Sergeant Major, for taking that out. Because it seems to me when you have, okay, and the Marine Corps, I know when they select for Sergeant Major, the Marine Corps, I'm sure Comnat as well, you make the short list, right? They have hundreds of Sergeants Major, and then they start, some get dropped off as it gets closer. Then the short list is like 4 Sergeants Major, and then they pick from them. What does their nationality, color, race, religion, what does any of that mean when you're selecting for that position? The best Marine for the job. I think the Army Sergeant Major did great. Race doesn't matter. Skill and abilities do. Menachem, amen. DEI is terrible, says Jared. What about the best person for the job? Who wants a DEI in a firefight? Modoro said Trump had a picture of Andrew Jackson on the wall behind the Resolute desk in the year of the office. What are some significance with this? It's going to be epic. Zeep, see you later. Thanks for hanging out. Like and subscribe, Zeep, on your way out. That's why this country will fail if we adopt that same mentality when electing our president. Amen. Stacking, I'm with you. Best person for the job. Considering DEI is just going to make our fighting forces weak. Again, if everyone sees it and everyone knows it, how is anyone still getting away with it? Why? Why is it still happening? DEI is dookie. Yes, Cave Diver. It is dookie. Well, you can clean up your language just a little bit. Gunners turning in ammo cans. Going a little off the mark a little bit, Cave Diver. Do you honestly think there's going to be an election? Another great question, Motor Oil, is it going to be just a straight real election? I was talking to some young soon-to-be Marines a little while ago, and I remember we covered, we did security for elections in Afghanistan, and that was a big deal because elections get crazy in those countries also. They're just more open about it. America tries to hide things, right? And so it's a secure election. No, it's not. But this Afghanistan in particular, when we were there, how they monitored that it was an official election and an accurate election, that they really did count the votes. Each person, after they voted, which was crazy just to get the election sites because certain people didn't want certain people to vote, right? It's crooked as all get up. But the only sure way to do it is they had to leave their fingerprint. That's how they knew people only voted once and that they did actually vote. It tied to their fingerprint. So I got to believe that's one way. Hopefully it's legit. But why can't we do that? Why can't we work it out where and monitor and the counting of votes? There's no shadiness to it whatsoever. It would probably take longer and a lot of people would have to work harder. So be it, because the final result is going to be what America wants, period. None of this shady stuff going on. Man, all right. Motorola says, all of the longshoremen and dock workers, 45,000 employees will be laid off in October 1st due to a strike. It will affect all the truck drivers too. Is that due to the current administration? Election season is coming soon. No vote, no grumble, right? Does your vote count? Yes, you have to get out there and vote. I'm so proud of my daughter. As soon as she turned 18, the first thing she did was register to vote to try to get this country back where it needs to be. Man, I missed the real trigger pulling one. Jared, daggone right, Menachem. Jared says, we had no women on my fire department because they could not physically pass the strength test. Nothing wrong with that. Whoever passes, right? Best person for the job. If don't lower any standards, standards remain the same. Best person for the job, man or woman, none of that matters. Monacan says, it's a real concern these days, Jared, doctors, pilots, etc., being hired because of their diversity, right? That should not matter at all. Again, there's men that can't cut it, right? In the Marine Corps, PFT, whatever the job is, and I've served with females in combat, right? We had the lionesses and the, I can't remember what the other ones were called. What was the the FET, Female Engagement Team. They had to join infantry units because, again, America, we follow rules like men don't search enemy women, well, not enemy, foreign country women, so we had to bring females in. But prior to those females coming to an infantry unit, they had to pass the CFT, the PFT reference. They had held to the same standards as the male Marines because they were going into combat with male Marines. So I've been in firefights with female Marines and Marines, right? At the end of the day, the Marines, they weren't put out there just, we got to get females in combat. No, we need Marines. The female part only became relevant because they searched the other females. All right, FET and SFAT. Thank you. Shannon, 16, want to be a SWAT member. Should I join the Army or Marines? Marines, join the Marine Corps. You want to be the toughest, join the Marines. One day you will face men who love death as much as they love life. It's an interesting notification. Those people also don't want bathrooms to use. It's almost like we need to go back to kindergarten to get through to these people. Facts, Jared, I'm telling you, spitting facts. Ours didn't get there because of DEI. They performed. Again, I probably couldn't be a fireman in my current physical state. If there's a gal who can, that's perfectly fine. When they first started, I remember in the very beginning, to get females to go to SOI, School of Infantry. Women can do it too. Absolutely. Women can do it. I think where we failed them is, like I think they put 3 females into SOI, School of Infantry, made them infantrymen, made them go through the school. Made them. They didn't want to be there. I think one of the 3 did, and don't quote me on this whole story. This is what I remember from it. They pushed these 3 women to SOI, School of Infantry, to get women in the infantry. I think one of them wanted to, and she always wanted to be an infantryman. The others didn't. The others fell out quickly because they didn't even want to be there. And General Burroughs, Commandant, I don't remember what years, and he did an interview and he was speaking about it, women in the infantry, women in combat. And as bunch of suits were going around and a bunch of these, yes, we need to do this, DEI, they didn't call it DEI back then, but that's what they were talking about. We got to represent the females in combat. And they showed him on an interview, he was just listening to everybody. And when it came to him, he said, wait a minute, are we short infantrymen? Is there an infantryman shortage right now, or we have to force people into it? Is there a problem with the infantry? Why are we even discussing this? If a female can pass the infantry training, by all means. But why are we pushing this so hard? What is the point? Are we in some kind of trouble? Do we need to all of a sudden push all these? Again, I think it's being a little sarcastic, but just putting it out there. Why are we forcing women into it? Are we hurting on infantrymen? And no one could answer him. But he was the bad guy for even saying it like that. Best person for the job, period. Don't lower the standards. All right. The elephant in the room is different standards, though. The standard should be the standard. 100% cave diver. When we change the standards, if they make it, they make it. Background doesn't matter. If they make it, they make it. someone breaks into my house, I don't tell my wife and kids to take care of it in the name of DEI, right? Honey, you go take care of that burglar. So we can say a female took care of the burglar. Whoever can, best person for that job. In my opinion, there should be a requirement for our presidential candidate to have served in the service. Sergeant Stacking. I had been saying that for years, for decades. I felt the same until I saw the job that Trump did. He didn't serve, and he was killing it. So we need him back in there. So, but I'm with you on that, to understand the military better. But that's why you have department heads, right? Be careful who you select as your Department of Defense. So that would help that problem. But I'm with you, Sergeant Stacking. Again, I had said that for years. Once, all right, starting with the Obama administration, when things started going down, I was like, you should have had to have served to be in that position. But again, the right person. When you cut your finger, who do you want to stitch it up? The guy who got a C or the guy who got an A? Best person for the job. Oh, gee, I like that. Right? Who do you want to come save you if you need saving? The medic that did the best in the class and got promoted and got to hold that position, or someone that kind of made it through and did okay. They passed through, but they passed through because of their diversity background. Amen. Man. Shannon says, what MOS in the Marines should I choose to be SWAT member in the future? Infantry. URAH. You'll learn all the infantry skills. I'm sure a huge percentage of SWAT were infantry, even Army infantry. Infantry, if you want to be on SWAT later. 100%. Jared says, hey, Sergeant Major, better watch it, or you know who may be having you take care of the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All of them. Too much political BS. Nailed it, OG. Nailed it. Politics shouldn't have nothing to do with it. That's in the civilian community too. It's happening there too. As bad, if not worse, right? Hiring a person because of who they are. Oh, we need a female. We need a male in that position. Family members, just to get somebody in there. Best person for the job, period. I'd let you stitch me up, Jared, like maybe a cut on my finger or something, nothing, no vital organs, but I'd let you put some stitches in me. Sergeant Stacking says, I would love Cece to come save me. That would be one hell of a story. You imagine that? Producer says, as soon as someone speaks up on Capitol Hill, you'll never see them again. That's the problem. So I saw, I don't remember if it was Iraq or Afghanistan, we went to some kind of political meeting with the security for it. And it was probably the Democrats and Republicans were having trouble with each other. They were arguing, they were fighting. They took it out back. As one was leaving, somebody got shot. Because that person probably had an opinion that didn't sit well with all the other woke people. They killed him. I was thinking to myself, God, what a crooked country. That's how they handle disputes. They just kill someone with a great idea. It's going to change the narrative of people getting rich or people putting the wrong people in positions of power. That's why they killed this guy. Thinking again, what a crooked country it is. But then now, where our country is at, when people's brakes go out in their car, or they suicide themselves while in a padded cell, things happen to people who speak out. The whistleblowers, all of a sudden they disappear, right? Or they commit suicide. Those are different. So, same type of issues. America's just real quiet about it. Diversity was removed because of the Biden administration blasted all the services on accusations the military has prioritized progressive ideals while backbenching war-fighting priorities. Yes, that's what we're getting into right now. The priorities are all wrong. The best fighters, period. It is rampant in the civilian life. Kind of triggered because we're used to holding leaders and peers accountable. You get out and these soft skin, I missed the rest of it, but you're absolutely right. It's in the civilian community. It's terrible. Right person for the right job. Why do you think they extended the size of Gitmo by 1 million square feet? Right? All these crooked should be for the crooked politicians. Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay. JEDKH. What does that mean? OG. Yes, because MFers are going down. That's why I'm with you, OG. Open it up, right? Some jail cells for a lot of politicians, the crooked ones. There's plenty of them. Careful, producer. You're right, Menachem. We're going to get shut down here in a minute. JEDKH. You have to fill me in later. All right, Devil Dogs. Regroup in hell and come back because we never relieve the duty. Always faithful. As a Marine, were you ever stationed on water? Yes, Marines are on ship. Great question, Shannon. Red wine. So Marines are on ship. We catch a ride from the Navy to go fight somewhere. And that's why we are amphibious. We attack from the beach with the help of our sister service, the Navy. They do. Marines are completely amphibious. We're on every coast and we're in the ocean. There's Marines in the water right now, floating around on our cruise liners, the U.S. Navy, waiting to fight. They're also out there waiting to support. So I've been to more, what is that ribbon called where you when you go support someone? It'll come to me in a minute. Indonesia, when they had the big flooding, we were sitting off the coast waiting for a war to happen. Turned right and went right to Indonesia to help the survivors there to clean up the country. They had massive floods. Banda Aceh, they had that big tsunami. It killed a bunch of people, tore up villages. We went right in there to assist. So Marines are on the water 24/7. We're amphibious fighting machines. But we help out. All right. Daddy Dog, stop ignoring me, Eggman. Say it again. If it's a legit question, Daddy Dog, we'll get out there. Sharon Cece asks, how can I purchase SFMF merch? Boy, great question. SFMFmerch.com, my Shopify. I'm sorry, SFMFmerch.myshopify.com. It's on the link in the descriptions. Hit the description button. The links will drop down. It's the first link. That's how you get on and order shirts. We got time. We'll talk about merch here in a minute. 100%. Humanitarian aid. Yes, thank you, producer. So a lot of humanitarian aid is what the Marines are on the water waiting to stand by to do as well. Okay, I've been on a couple huge ones, and that's what we do, man. Marines go to just protect and serve, buddy. America's 911. We're out there. We're waiting. Menachem, how's it going, Cece? Oh, Sergeant Cece. There it is. There's a link right there in the comments, sfmfmerch.myshopify.com. Go on there, order you some swag. I've only been on ship, was the USS Ogden. I wasn't that impressed. Never been on the Ogden, Jared. I've been on a few. The Bonhomme Richard before it was destroyed. Things still back up and running. The Durham. I've been on some great ships, and again, not so great ships. But I love being on ship. I really do. And here's why. Because we're not stationed, Marines aren't stationed on ship for 3 years at a time. We're usually catching a ride somewhere, so we have no responsibility while we're on ship. So we eat, sleep, play cards, and work out. That's what Marines do on ship. And stay out of the Navy's way. I remember from a young Marine, number one thing they'd tell us is stay out of the Navy's way. They're working. When they, just like flight attendants, when you take a flight somewhere, flight attendants are working. You're just sitting there doing nothing. So stay out of their way. Same thing on ship. The Navy is busting their butt. That is their job. They get time off when they get back to port. Excuse me. But while the ship is at sea, they're working and some long hours. Man, the Navy busts their butt on ship. I guess a lot of them do have to work once they get back. That's when they scrape the barnacles and paint and do all the things to maintain the ship so they can go out again. Love being on ship. Do I like P. Diddy? I don't follow that crap on. I'm talking about military service members, how we help each other. Grandfather was a Marine, CRS temp. Grandfather was a Marine, still a Marine. He served in the Korean War. After the war, he was invited to join the Honor Guard. Also got to stand guard for President Eisenhower for special. Awesome. The Korean War, of all the wars, impressive people. The Marines were, I think, a different breed back then, but the chosen had to be some of the hardest Marines in the world to not only survive in weather double digits below freezing temperature, and not only survive, but to fight in temperature like that. Crazy. Love those Marines, and I know they're all we're losing them. There's only a few World War II veterans still alive because of time, but those are amazing Marines. Set the path, right? They paved the way for us today. All right, Timothy Riley, Carl Green says, USS Cleveland, the Peleliu, I've been on the Peleliu, and John C. Stennis. I've been on the Peleliu, that's about it. Love being on ship. Carl, did you like it? Korea was absolutely brutal. You were there, Jared? Just kidding. I'm telling you, reading the stories, and I had early on as a young Marine, I had met some Korean War veterans, and just amazing what they went through, just the freezing temperatures, again, just to survive that, but also be able to fight. You got to be kidding me. Menachem says, have you ever done any joint exercise with the IDF? Indirect fire? What other IDF? The ships you were on, Carl, yep. Loved it all. Again, I'm with you, Carl. Love being on ship. I really do. You get 4 hots in the cot on ship because they got mid-rats. The ship was great. Navy was great. Every now and then you get a captain of a ship that not very fond of Marines, so you kind of get. But again, we're just catching rides. So as long as the Marines behave and stay out of the Navy's way. No, they don't like it because we just we flood the gym, right? We usually end up having Marine hours in the gyms, and it was like, midnight to 03, something like that. But again, it's their gym. Oh, Israeli Defense Force. I'm sure there were Menachem all over Afghanistan, Iraq, not directly hand in hand, but they were every time I go fight. I don't remember anything specific. Menachem. More people died of exposure to bullets. Doc says, what's up, Doc Holiday? Just had a great conversation with Grandpa, and he told me when he was in the Army tanker, he had his entire line stopped because Elvis was passing by his tank. Crazy story. Wow. So Elvis was in country making a visit, and the whole line stopped. Durham, sister ship was the USS Mobile. Man, I think I was on the Mobile also. LKA 115 was my home for 11 months in the Gulf. Yeah, so I think I probably had spent a little time on the Mobile. But Durham, that's the one I remember the most for some reason. Took that one to Tonga, the Kingdom of Tonga, and that's where I got my shell back, was on the Durham. That's a a short and another live one day talking about getting shell backed. Amazing, crazy, love. The Navy has some awesome history and traditions as well, and they stick with it. Awesome. Exposure, then bullets. But I meant most people die from exposure. Oh, okay, I'm with you, Jared. I got you. So most people died in Korea from exposure to the elements, right? Probably, can you imagine how many frostbite? There's frostbite incidences in Bridgeport, California, where it's like freezing, but not in the double digits like it was in Korea. And we had a place to get out of the elements in Bridgeport. And I saw firsthand, frostbite happen. So I can only imagine, Jared, that's got to be true. More people died of exposure to the weather than bullets. Again, some hardcore individuals that survived the chosen frozen, the Korean War. USS Peleliu. Yes, Elvis was in service when my grandpa was serving. Wow, it's pretty awesome, Doc. Marine Shellback here, OG. Shellback. I wasn't. What's the one above a shellback? When you cross both the equator and at the same time, you're golden shellback. Love Bridgeport, Cave Diver. I did too. Best training. I loved it. Had an opportunity to go there, to be stationed there, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. The Peleliu she was correcting so many on their spelling. Doc Holiday, for all the devil dogs. Semper Fi, my friend. Awesome. Man, look at that. Appreciate you. I've never even seen a pink one before. The notification is what I'm looking at, Doc. Thank you very much, brother. God bless you. Golden shellback, yes. Best training. Doc the goat. Yeah. Wow. Doc, appreciate you. Bridgeport. So I had an opportunity to go to Bridgeport. Because I had been there many times with unit training, with the infantry. You do the 1 month package. Your whole battalion goes through the cold weather training, pretty intense. Went there with the engineers. We helped rebuild Levitt Trail. We destroyed the old donkey, mule, kennels, farm, ranches when they got rid of the donkeys there. Did a lot of work, so I spent a lot of time in Bridgeport. He went back for a mountain leaders course, summer, winter. One of them as an engineer, as a young engineer, I think it was a corporal. They offered me orders there to stay there 3-year regular PCS to explode the mountain range to create avalanches. And that was to like when they what they call it when you burn a field on purpose, controlled fires, right? It was a controlled avalanche, so it wouldn't happen when Marines were training up there and people would die. So it sounded great, right? Who wouldn't want to do that? Explode the side of a mountain range and just watch the avalanche go. It sounded very, very exciting. Not so exciting for a family of 4 with 2 young kids, and the nearest school is like 50 miles away. So you're out there in the middle of nowhere. Beautiful countryside, love spending time over there, but it wasn't a place for a young family at that time. All right. My grandfather also saluted every American he came across for as long as I can remember. Shannon says, what MOS did you choose and why? The community here knows I started out as a 1371 combat engineer era. Actually, when I enlisted with my recruiter, he was an 03 infantry guy. That's what I signed up. Just wanted to be just like him. Sergeant McBain was a beast mode. I want to be just like him. And so I did 03 infantry. Told me all about it. Everything I needed to know. Looked at pictures and magazines and showed me some films. That's what I wanted to do. Get through boot camp, graduating at the very end. My senior drill instructor, I had talked to a gunnery sergeant, combat engineer on the phone, I had the opportunity to change my MOS. Still wasn't too sure about what all the different MOSs did. I thought my first 4 years was going to be like boot camp. That was my level of knowledge of what I was getting myself into. This dude talked me into, you get to blow stuff up, you get to build bridges and blow them up, and you go to Bridgeport and blow up avalanches, and sounded great to me. So I changed to 1371 Combat Engineer. Loved it. It was a good time. Lay Cookie's on here. He'll be the first to tell you I wasn't that great of an engineer, but I liked it. Loved going to the demo range. The construction part, I was okay at it. Luckily, it was our engineers, combat engineer construction isn't supposed to build to last. It's not built to last forever. Expeditionary, because we're on the move. Then later in my career, I got to get back into the infantry. A couple of MOSs later, the secondary MOSs, drill instructor, swim instructor, all those stuff are cool, but I really do love the infantry. All right. Bangalores are fun. Yes, Bangalore torpedoes, cave diver, yes. That's just a long stick of C4. And you put them together like adding straws on each other and push them through an obstacle and blow that baby up. I'm telling you, engineers are cool. They do some cool stuff. C4, just molding it, put it on a door frame, boom, blast the door handle off, put it around the door, blast the whole door off. They do some cool stuff. In Alaska, we got to drill holes into concrete rock. I don't know what kind of rock it was. Drill, I'm talking like 40, 50 feet holes into the cliff and just pack TNT on top of each other. Blasting dead cord all the way through it and completely blow off the side of a mountain. So they do some cool stuff. The SMAW, great weapons. So engineers are construction and destruction, but they're also, they build obstacles for the defensive and cut through obstacles on the offensive. So every good infantry unit has engineers there to assist. Awesome stuff. Sergeant Major, any shorts this week? No, Doc, I'm telling you, and I discussed it earlier, the past 96 hours for me have been pretty intense. We're getting back into a battle rhythm, or we're getting a battle rhythm. We might even go every other Wednesday for the lives. Trying to just secure a good battle rhythm. Right now, I mentioned earlier too, one of my daughters is going through the process of applying for some service academies and ROTC scholarships. That is going extremely well. Had some great information and great support from the local recruiters, from the OSO in the area. Awesome Marines. I'm going to bring her on soon, not tonight, but we're going to have her on the show so she can help anyone going through that process, or high schoolers who are thinking about that process, because it is intense, and she has been killing it. So we've been real busy. So no shorts, Doc. Appreciate you asking. I'm going to get back on it. Again, this past week has been crazy. Any fishing with C4, Frank Oliveres. Fishing with C4. For those of you that know, if you know, you know. C4 is a big clay block. You break it off. It still needs heat and pressure to explode. It looks like just a brick of clay. When you mold it and you form it again, you can wrap it around. We made donuts, right? Made it into a literal donut to put it on a door handle to blow the door handle off. You can do a lot of good things with it. But fishing with it, yes, you drop some in the water, drop some under coral. I'll talk about them in a minute. Let me see what Annie Benani has to say. The Marine captain told me that second lieutenant is the best rank because you spend the most time with the enlisted. Amen. You hear that? That's from a senior in high school getting ready to be a Marine officer. Told me second lieutenant is the best rank because you spend the most time with the enlisted. Man, that's awesome. And you know, we talk about it here a lot, the officer enlisted relationship. That's awesome. I'm going to talk to that young captain about that. That's it. That builds that relationship right off the bat. Man. Great scoops. Any banana. I missed that. What's my favorite cadence during PT? I like them all. C-130 rolling down the strip. You know, that's everyone's classic favorite. Here's a good CD tape for you. I mean, a cassette tape of some good cadence on there. I like Yellow Birdie. All right. Shape charges are awesome. Worked with EOD. EOD is awesome. Those guys are amazing. The history of the Bangalore, interesting topic. I don't even know if I know the history of it. I know it's great for wire obstacles because you can just push it through the dirt, extend them, make it long, 4 or 5 pieces to it. Lean on your NCOs, says Cave Diver. Producer says the shorts producer might be on a mini vacation. The shorts producer, yes, I'm telling you, busy times. Do Marine cadences ever have words? I legit can't make out words in them. Yes, they do, but you got to learn the enunciation of the one who's leading it. But yes, they're awesome. I just hear left, or something like that. You don't even hear the whole word left. Yes, we have our own language, and it's pretty awesome. Manakam. Wait a minute, Doc. What do you mean that's well deserved? You got some time off? When the producer has time off, that means I got to work harder. Shannon, red wine. Great question. Is service as hard as boot camp? Not a yes or no question, but it's completely different. And boot camp is where, again, you get broke down just to be built back up. So in boot camp, their job is to strip you of all your bad habits, break you down only to build you back up to be a lean, mean fighting machine. So it's not easy. It's to get the selfishness out of your body, to break you down physically and mentally, to build you back up so you are now part of a team and part of a brotherhood and a sisterhood that lasts a lifetime. So it's not easy. And that's just in 3 months. And after the 3 months, short 3 months, makes you a basically trained Marine. So then you go on to your infantry training, or what is the other one called for non-03s? You go to your combat training, then you go to your school, whatever job you're going to do, and that's about a year in training before you get to the fleet, which what happens then is what you make of it. So, but no, completely different from boot camp. Excuse me. Right, some great cadences right there. I think you nailed it, Jared. That's how you spell it. Laugh, Roy, yo left. That's it. Adult Sergeant Major. Boot camp is awesome. It absolutely is. Again, the culture shock, once you get over the culture shock, the selfishness, getting up early if you're not used to that, being completely exhausted all day, nonstop from 05:30 to 21:30 when you're awake and moving and doing a billion things at once, awesome. Straight from boot camp to college. Another one here who likes the smell of gasoline. No, funny, Manakam, I do too. Strangely enough, right? And you know, it smells good as old cars. You smell that old, regular gasoline. But I think it is something comforting when you smell like a 7-ton fire up room for the first time. You know, all different kinds of vehicles now. Jordan Hammond says, what was your favorite part about being a drill instructor? Marines are drill instructors, Jordan. Drill sergeant is Army. The best part was, again, transforming those young, nasty civilians into basically trained Marines, right? Very, very rewarding. Intense at times and frustrating at times because you know what they're capable of. Some just take a lot longer to transform because you figure 18 years of living a different kind of a lifestyle to be thrust into something in just 3 short months, to be, again, part of something bigger, much bigger than themselves. So graduation, I've seen these guys graduate and know that they're going to replace me. They have replaced me by now. Lay Cookie says 30 plus years, and if I hear Marine cadence, I stop what I'm doing and listen to the rhythm. Love it still. Something you never get tired of. Mark says, do you play Call of Duty mobile? Never in my life have I played any of those games because I lived it, real life. And I don't have no desire. We talked about that. I don't play paintball or airsoft or any of those pretend wars. That's just me. Don't want nothing to do with it. It's not realistic. They could. I do too. Kind of smile too. Yep, Jared. I'm telling you, hearing cadence, Marine cadences, colors, right? All those stuff just brings you back and does put a smile on your face. It's awesome. Abraham Lopez says, do you keep in touch with any of your recruits in the fleet? How were your encounters? Pretty awesome, Abraham, and we've come across some here. JTB, I don't know where he is tonight, but he was one of my recruit from my first platoon as a drill instructor. So it's over the course of, yes, decades in the Marine Corps and even now have run across some. Ran across a buddy, we were in boot camp together. Ran into him in Maui, of all places. So yes, and it's a brotherhood that cannot be taken lightly. It's an amazing, always an amazing encounter. Great question. Talking about my buddy SEER training today. Obviously, he wouldn't say much about it. Gave me a new respect for him. SEER training ain't no joke. We did a mini SEER training in Bridgeport. And yes, true colors come out. You want to know what kind of man or woman you are? Go through some SEER training. That will tell you, that will test your mettle, how they say it. Just can't play pretend. Life is incredible. Amen, Bob. John McJunkin, you definitely owe some burpees, brother. Where you been? Come on, McNutty. Apologies for being late to formation, Sergeant Major. Our internet and Wi-Fi was disrupted due to outrage. Ours got disrupted earlier as well. But glad you're here, John. Good to see you this evening. The producer says @Fluffy. Good to see you, John. Welcome, brother. Lay Cookie said, this channel puts a smile on my face, remembering my days with the Sergeant Major and the producer. Amen, brother. So glad to have you here. Awesome. Some good times that will never, ever go away. That's the brotherhood and, again, sisterhood, the camaraderie of being a Marine. Put us all together in our lives somehow, some way. And I'm with you, brother. It's amazing. Amazing. Can't wait to see you and Candace again. Soon, we got to make that happen. Menachem says, the other day, I was walking down the street and an Army hearse with a flag-draped coffin followed by a limousine passed me. Very moving. Yes, Menachem, that's the way to put it right there. Very moving, and just the reaction of good Americans when they see something like that. Awesome. People look at me funny when I salute things like that, Menachem. Jared, good on you, brother. I'm telling you, anytime the national anthem's being played, you see a color guard for something that you're at a ceremony, when you pop to attention, right, you stand rigid and everyone's kind of looking around, why is that guy standing there? The national anthem. I'm with you. You can't stop me. Yep, producer says we're overdue for some face-to-face time. Yep. Producer's got your back, John. She's waiting for the burpees. You owe her 22 burpees. Can't help but to be moved. Got you, Carl. Appreciate you, brother. Reminds me of Taking Chance. Wow, what a great movie. Look at Sergeant Cece coming through. Taking Chance. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. Taking Chance, starring Kevin Bacon, is the Marine officer in this one. Chance is a Marine that he's taken back to his hometown after he was KIA. Awesome, awesome movie. Shows it's not a war film. You're not going to see some combat action. You're not going to see death and destruction, but you're going to see the heart of the Marine Corps. Taking Chance. Please write that down. Watch it. Teaches you everything about being a Marine. Awesome movie. Stood there with my hand over my heart until it passed. Everyone around me just walked past oblivious. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's your average American just doesn't know. Not out of disrespect, they just don't know. I was also the commander of our color guard in the fire department, so no stranger to coffins. Amen, brother. Yeah, different. Let's hear your excuse, John. You're doing those burpees. Of course they did, but you did right in my book, Menachem. Absolutely, we know. If you know, you know. Never be too embarrassed. At an event last night that I wanted to film the color guard doing, and while there's a kid playing the national anthem on his electric guitar, friends of my daughter, so I wanted to film it. So of course, I had my camera there, the rest of my body, boom. I couldn't move because it was the national anthem. Didn't move a muscle, just held my camera there the whole time. That's what we do. Battle of LA is also a good Marine movie. I don't think I've ever seen it, Doc. I think I started to or tried to. It's about a Marine, right? He's a Marine. Jared, do you play the bagpipes? Do you play the Marines hymn in the bagpipes? That's what I want at my funeral. Bagpipes, Marine hymn, Marines hymn. Man, that's awesome. I did was it a mess night? I think I did a mess night. I invited bagpipe. It was in Okinawa, so it wasn't easy finding a group of bagpipers. And they did. They marched on, played the Marines hymn. And the bagpipes was awesome. Menachem, you seen Taking Chance. Awesome movie. Haven't played in 12 years. Jared, bust them out. Brush off the dust. Marines hymn. Birthday's coming up. Boy, what are we in, September? 2 months for our birthday. Russ, number 5, Wade. 2 months, Marine Corps birthday, 249. 249 years old. Marine Corps ball. Birthday's coming up. All right, here's McJunkin's excuse. Why me, ma'am? I'm innocent here. Plus, I did so much PT this morning, just getting out of bed, bedding myself, getting myself a cup of coffee, and kissing my bride good morning before we went to church services. That is a lot of PT, John. We'll give you that. Just getting up, you made the coffee, some PT. Jared says, yes, the Marines hymn. Amazing Grace, ooh, taps, and a few others. I sold my kilt and other dress a long time ago. Get it back, brother. I'm telling you, those right there, those 3 I want played at my funeral, producer. The Marines hymn, Amazing Grace, and taps on the bagpipes. Actually, I want someone to sing Amazing Grace. Awesome. Love the sound of some bagpipes. Gary says, saluting a fallen hero was a common sight along the highway of heroes near Toronto. Everyone stopped on the highway to honor the fallen. So deployed, obviously, all those times you see that and you hear about it, and small towns seem to embrace it a whole lot better, maybe than big cities. Pretty moving sight. That's a good word for it. When you see coffin draped, American flag, you know it's a service member. It is to see the reaction from patriotic people who know, right? And again, one of the things, if you know, you know. Menachem says, do you still wear uniform when you are authorized to? Absolutely. Marine Corps ball, I'm wearing my uniform. I think I wore a suit once, and I didn't like it just to try it. And even in a suit, you can wear the mini medals just so you're representing your service. But as long as I can fit in my uniform, I'm going to wear it to birthday ball celebrations. Uniform keeps shrinking for some reason. I don't know what it is. So excited for the Marine Corps birthday ball. Can't wait. The producer put up the time. I missed it. How much time we got to the ball? To the birthday? Doc says, what leadership principles or experiences have you found most valuable throughout your career in the Marine Corps? Great question, Doc. And you know, the traits and principles came out after I had been in a while. They came in the late 90s, I think, is what we talked about before. 96 or 97, the 14 leadership traits, which now there's 15. Empathy was added, J.J. Dittai Buckley. But I like them all. I like the principles and the traits, and I think they are 100% relevant. And if you can live by them, then you're going to be a good Marine, period. And even now, after the service, after the Corps, still utilize them because they're ingrained in my head. On the leadership traits of the 15, I still do believe that dependability is like number one. And they're in no particular order. They're in the J.J. Dittai Buckle just so you can memorize them. And everyone says integrity is number one. And a lot of them can be your own personal number one, but I firmly believe that dependability is number one, because if I can depend on a Marine, I can depend on him to display and have all the leadership traits and principles. Who is your favorite historical figure? Mine is George Patton. Like George Patton, White Chesty Puller, of course, R. Lee Ermey. There's a lot of them. Honestly, I've given more emotion. I've gotten more emotional over the years. I have PTSD when Amazing Grace on pipes is played. Amazing Grace. Jared, I'm with you. Taps, right? It's hard to hear taps and not have this feeling go through your body. Hathcock. Yeah, somebody mentioned Hathcock. Jared hits, man, I missed it, producer. My values to live by. Amen, Gary. I'm telling you, still to this day. Shannon says, appreciate your input. Made me more confident on joining the Marine Corps. Semper Fi. Join the club. And let us know, Shannon, when you're joining, while you're in. Keep us abreast of everything that's happening right now. What, Jared? What I asked you to do? Arturo, number 16, never been cheap, never be cheap. Right? Should we add that? Add that, make 16 leadership traits. So, Major, what was the most serious injury you've ever sustained? Annie Benani. Wow, good one. So a lot of nothing serious enough to earn a Purple Heart. And I used to joke that I know how to duck and get out of the way. But seriously, just over the years, I do have a bad back, a bad neck. I got bad knees over continuous use of all of it. But 100% without a doubt, the biggest injury is the PTS that I have suffered. And that's, again, this month. Again, just a reminder, that is an injury that you can't see, but it's there. Oh, wow. So know it, learn it, live it, love it, know it, not love it, but talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. And that's an injury that people suffer from still today. Remember the 22. Too many. One service member taking their life is too many. All right. Malcolm says, when they play the hymn slow at the funerals, it really gets to me. Yep. The slow version of the Marines hymn is tough. Jared's talking to the team, didn't want to get hit by the feels. Get it? I don't want to get hit in my feels. Bob, I'm telling you, I can't wait to get some of your cooking. Knows how to prepare duck several different ways. TBI, says Gary, traumatic brain injury. That you can't see that either. You're right. Doc says, Sergeant Major, after accomplishing so much in the Marine Corps, what continues to drive you? What's your next goal? And what keeps you moving forward after achieving so much? Doc, this is it right here, brother. This is what keeps us going. This community, this shared love of our country, our Corps, our service members, our legacy, our kids, right? We want them to have a secure, safe country. The motivation that drives us every day is this community. Great question, bro. And to guess here, Sorry, Mary J. I guess here they're full of questions. No, Doc, I'm telling you, brother, appreciate it. Right there, look at Annie Benani says, the next generation. That is our motivation to continue to do what we do. And it's, you don't think about it as a young Marine growing up, you're just serving your country. But now having a family and knowing where the country could possibly go, what direction, that's our motivation to continue to push, to continue to strive. I want my kids to have a successful life as well, and their kids. It's just the motivation to serve, right? Thanks, Doc, and everybody you're with right now. Annie Benani said it best, the next generation. Amen. Suicide Prevention Month. Call 988. Ask your psychiatrist or whoever you're talking about. Ask the VA about EMDR. Right? Get the help you need. Menachem says, gosh, how long has it been since I joined this community? I'm loving it. Amen, Menachem. Remember how I'd butcher your name for like 3 lives in a row? Menachem. John, amen. Michigan DNR is where you apply for visiting hunting license. All right. Hunting season's coming up. Carl and Sergeant Cece. What is that little wrench by your name? Yeah, what is that? I saw that on there too, Jared. It's that little wrench that shows up. Put it up there. Let's see. I'm guessing it's an emoji that doesn't show up for some reason. Oh, it's the hammer. That's the band hammer. It means we're moderators. Oh. Good. I didn't know either. I'm tech dumb too. Jared just learned something. It's the G Shop. Again, no shame in reaching out, Gary. Amen, brother. That was a great live. If you weren't with us on Wednesday, it was a great live. A lot of great information was passed. If you get a chance, watch it. Ain't no shame. Ain't no shame at all. Yeah, that was hilarious. Shout out to the crew for the constant corrections. Yeah. Moderator is who can drop links as well. All right. Thank you, Gary. Again, appreciate your support, brother. 100%. All right, we're getting ready to land this helicopter. It's been a quick 2 hours. Thanks for coming back after that glitch. That was my fault. I'm overall in charge, but that one was weird, man. That one came out of nowhere. Didn't know what happened with that. It just, all of a sudden, I just got timed out. We know why. We think it was Big Brother because we started talking about the elections. Vote, register to vote. If you're not already registered, register, get out there and vote. Diesel, thank you for your service. I served a 3-7 weapons company. Love 7th Marines. 29 Palms. 3-7 weapons company back in the 2000s. Good times in 29 Palms. Amen. Great training facility, 29 Palms. Not the best Liberty port, but it's some great training out there. The band hammer, good old hammer that goes above your ribbons. Just need to make it a ribbon. All right, real quick on the merch. You know this one. 20 million. What do we have? What's the number of illegal immigrants coming into America? SFMF-merch.myshopify.com. I'm on it. Lil Reaper shiny, Lil Reaper normal. Get them while they're hot. I'm going to save the one I put on my truck for last. The cassette tape. All right, old school. Some of you never even seen a cassette tape in real life. Boom. This one's in your face. Love this little guy. 420. All set for now. Oh, you know, John. Greetings. Randall, Nav, good to see you, brother. There's a SART. And we hit that timer so it doesn't explode. Producer over there. Here's a sheet of them. This one's cool. Got them all. My newest favorite, the one I put on my truck. Boom. Like to get a big one in your face. Keep asking the producer if I can get that tattoo right across my knuckles right there. Don't forget the lanyards. 100% made in America by an American veteran. Era. Sergeant Cece. The Green Monster. All the t-shirts. Hoodies. Getting cold. Let's go. Let's get after it. Awesome. Live. Love spending Sunday with you. God bless you all. Make sure you have spent some time with God today. If you haven't, there's still time. Get online. Watch your favorite church service. God bless you all. I love this community. Let's continue to grow. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. We'll be back at it Wednesday, 1900 Central Standard Time. We'll see you Wednesday. Semper Fi, my friends. Era.